After tricking Hulk into getting on a ship, the Avengers would send him on a planet that he would eventually rule and build a happy family on until the ship that brought him there suddenly exploded, and so with his wife and unborn child dead, Hulk tells Earth to evacuate New York because he's coming with his allies to kill the Avengers for killing his entire planet while holding up a beaten Black Bolt. Tony and Reed therefore quickly rush over to Sentry and eventually convince him to help them while Spider-Man is directing the people out the city. Hulk then arrives and fights Iron Man in his Hulkbuster suit until he gets hit by rockets, which only reminds him of how his wife was killed, ultimately making him dismantle Tony. He then walks back into the city alongside his allies only to meet She-Hulk, who tries reasoning with him, but he didn't care as the fight begins once again. Storm and the Human Torch hit him with all they've got, but he doesn't even flinch, ultimately forcing the Thing into the battle only for him to get crushed. He then finally gets a hold of Reed and basically stretches him unconscious and then drags him through the city until Banner's friend Rick comes and distracts him, which gives Strange the opportunity to pull him for a chat in the mental mindscape while his physical body is getting bombarded by the army. Strange talks to Hulk, making him transform back and calm down, where he then begins talking about his wife only to then Hulk out and break Steven's hand, forcing him out of the mindscape. He begins smashing once again and then heads to confront Steven in person, only to be met by an enraged version of him that absolutely humbles him until Steven loses control of his powers, letting the Hulk finally collect the last Avenger of the 4 who sent him to that planet. He therefore hooks them up with controlling discs and makes them fight creatures and eventually each other for the whole planet to watch, but that's when the one and only Sentry finally decides to leave his doorstep and straight away blitz Hulk, causing an insane fight that was literally shaking the entire planet. But the two eventually burn out and transform to their original forms. However, just as Bruce tries to make peace with Earth, an alien of his allies tries stabbing him but accidentally kills Rick, ultimately making him transform back to Hulk and begin punching him up, but then the alien reveals that he was the one who rigged the bomb that killed his wife because Hulk was becoming too peaceful. Bruce was so angry finding this out that he literally was gonna break the world if it wasn't for Tony hitting him with an orbital beam, leaving him completely depowered and more broken than ever before, ready to be locked up.